All right, everybody, welcome back. We got big news for those of you who are science advocates, like me, got 2 thumbs, and I'm a big science person. Fortunately, I have people in studio who are way better at science and way more knowledgeable of science and the science fair coming up. Claudia Taitano and Dr. Austin Shelton. Hafa to you both. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
39 years we have been having this wonderful science fair. I remember attending it many times as a kid with my Auntie Marilyn. So what have you got for us, Claudia, for the 39th?
Well, we have 90 pages worth of entries this year.
Nice.
Over 485 students entered so far, and we'll be receiving some more entries this evening during setup.
These span, I'm assuming, from elementary school kids all the way up to high school and beyond?
Right, grades 1 through 12 from all of the public and private and DODEA schools. And this year we're also receiving projects from some of our islands in the CNMI.
Very excellent.
I know I have Saipan in, I have Rhoda. So we have a big fair this year, and it'll be lots of fun.
Now, Austin, I've been told by many people in our island community, it's a wonderful thing that they said, you are very inspiring to a lot of young people because they're like, wow, I've seen that guy around. I know he's from Guam. You know, he went off and got his doctorate and everything like that, and he's doing really good things with the reef. Is there a theme for this year? And, you know, how do we get young kids interested in becoming scientists and in a scientific method?
Well, I think the science fair is one way to get, is actually one of the best ways to get students interested in science. And I know it helped me a lot. In the first grade, I threw bottles into the ocean with messages inside of them. And a few months later, I had several responses from the Philippines. And I turned that into my first project on ocean currents. And it became a winning science fair project sometime in the 2nd or 3rd grade. And I've been hooked on science ever since. And so if you can find something out there, maybe a problem that you want to fix on Guam, and there might be a scientific solution to that, test it out and bring it to the science fair. And I think that would be a really good way for kids to get hooked on this.
Claudia, would you say that's a common misconception on Guam? And some kids say, I'm not a super scholar, I'm not, you know, I haven't done science my entire life, you know, like I've got really simple ideas and everything, but you don't have to be mapping the genome or, you know, creating Daisy the llama. You don't have to clone to be an effective science person.
That's true. Everybody starts with an idea, and they start experimenting and testing those ideas. Science is across everything that we do. Businessmen who come up with ideas for new bottles, for example. Some of them presented their project at science fair. We have one girl who decided to put some antibiotics on paper at a science fair so that people wouldn't get sick when they grade papers. Came out of a science fair. So we have all different sorts of projects that students can do at all different levels. Throwing a bottle into the ocean, for example, and seeing where the currents go, led this one to know that he could produce energy from those currents when he got to about, what, 10th or 11th grade?
Yep, and that was the high school science project.
It's contributing to human knowledge, and that's a very good thing.
And it's also a fun way to learn science. We were speaking in the studio before this, that you didn't like learning mitosis and meiosis and all those terms.
That destroyed me.
That's not fun. But if you learn about cells when you're actually trying to find out if your plant in your front yard can kill cells growing in a petri dish, you might be more interested in finding out at what stage they killed those cells. You will begin to learn more by actually physically doing projects than you will ever by just sitting there and reading the book.
And that is the fun part. So, Austin, is there a central theme that the projects focus on this year?
It's the same as it's been for many years. There's ecology and earth sciences, environmental science, and robotics, things of that sort. So we have all the categories.
I'm loving the robotics.
Right here.
Yes.
So many kids involved in robotics these days. It's insane. In robotics, you can do so many things. There's an interest nationally with self-driving cars. There's automation of industrial processes and everything like that. All the stuff that's high level, it all starts out with kids just having an idea or questioning or just tinkering.
Right. And that's exactly where they get the ideas to go to college. Research is showing. We have a study that was done at Texas A&M. And they've shown that those students who participate in science fairs, science clubs, 2 or 3 years, tend to go on and go into the sciences.
It's an important intervention to have science fairs at an early age, especially now that all the careers, or many of the careers that are going to be coming up, are in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So this is a really great way to get interested and to develop your skills to become a scientist and perhaps go on to college and have a career in one of these fields.
And I know this year the timing of the science fair, the date and the time, that will be our final question before we wrap, is very accessible to the public this time because it's at a time when a lot of people can attend.
Sure,
Yes.
that's right.
5 to 7, right?
No, the science fair is from 8 on Saturday until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
And setup is tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. We have sponsors from Delta, MEC, and IP&E who also help us provide some judges. And of course they provide the funding for the science fair. But we hold the science fair on Saturdays so that everybody can participate who is going to school Monday through Friday.
Excellent. And this is absolutely free to the public to attend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're welcome to attend. The best time would be sometime around 10 to noon.
All right. That is the most important part.
When they're all fresh and wanting to explain their projects.
All right. Thanks so much. We got to get out of here, but we will see you at the science fair. Can't wait.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Thanks.
Please, if we have learned anything from science, are you brave enough to question and to challenge? That is the key part. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Close